Well, how are you, Mama V? I wanted to say good morning to a good friend of mine.
What were you doing? Squatting?
Not Salifu Combat. This one is with Inshira FM in Kumasi. And good morning to you. And you always tend to watch us. You watch us every morning before you leave the house to the office. And we're grateful. We're so grateful. Euku. Yeah.
Where are you?
Yeah. This request is not for Salifu Combat of Boku Presbyterian Hospital.
Oh, good morning. If you missed the AM news, time for us to do the newspapers and check out what's online
you have your
as
handle,
well.
You have your handle there.
Mama Viabuaji.
I've never noticed it before.
Mama Viabuaji.
Do I have my handle there as well? Let me see if I'm super.
Really? Okay. Patrick, let's do what's important. Okay, let's do the newspapers. I have the Daily Graphic newspaper, the Ghanaian Times, the Business Finder, and the Daily Statesman as well. What do you have, Roland?
Well, I have a couple of the newspapers. The Daily Dispatch newspaper, the Daily Guide, and then the New Independent. Mama, I have the ABC News. We won't review that, but I have it. And I have the Custodian. We'll review it because it belongs to a very good friend of mine. I will do.
You're so biased. Let's begin with the Daily Graphic newspaper. Here we go with what's on the front page of the Graphic today. Establishing identity of discovered skeletons. DNA test surest way, according to specialist pathologists. Dr. Robert Kumoji, specialist pathologist at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Process begins as 4 avail themselves, we're told. Story by Rebecca Kweku Duho is on the front page of the paper. Also, GJA marks 70th milestone. There is a special supplement on India at 73 celebration in today's Graphic. MTN Heroes of Change nominees covert prize for projects. Also, build strong control system. This is the Daily Graphic newspaper, not the Times. Okay, so build strong control systems to curb waste. President directs MMDAs and departmental heads. And on the front page of the paper, there is Professor George Janbafo, Minister of Planning, presenting the Director General Outstanding Special Award to Mr. Peter Onanjiri Nimotsen, Head of Internal Audit Unit at Ayawaso Central Municipal Assembly, for ethical values of integrity, objectivity, professionalism, and confidentiality as an internal auditor during the conference. That's a huge award, really, if you look at the words contained in there. Let's check out what's in the center spread of the paper today. Reason the paper is a bit heavy. That's the special supplement they were talking about, yes, on India. It's very colorful in the center spread of the paper. Why August 15 remains special to all Indians.
Shukara, Shukara, Namaste.
It's in the center spread. So if you find this as a story of interest, you can check it out. They also say Shukran?
No, Shukara. You say Shukaraya.
Shukarai. But it means the same thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay. All right, back page of the Daily Graphic now. President inspects work on Tono irrigation projects. Army officers mark Silver Jubilee with donations. That's what's on the back page of the Graphic. Let's do the Ghanaian Times now. Front page of the Times. GJA marks 70th anniversary today. Upper East Region chiefs applaud governments for free senior high school PFJ programs. Also, former GPHA workers threatening demo over non-payments of severance package. Police secure DNA samples from 4 relatives of Takrade kidnapped girls. There's a picture of David Senanu Eklu, ASP, Director General Police Public Affairs. Now, police seek suspect for stabbing man to death. The police at Kenyase in the Ahafo region have appealed to the public to help arrest one Richard Opong, who is 42, who has been on its wanted list since May this year. Also, body pulled from grave to be stripped of uniform. Officials in Western Kenya have exhumed the body of a local man to strip him of the uniform he was buried in, according to reports. You might want to find out why. Center spread of the paper. We will complete road projects before 2020 election, President assures. And what road particularly is he talking about? Well, he was in the Upper East region, and he was talking about the Bogatanga Boko Pomakom Road. It will be completed before the general elections in 2020. I just love elections. GJMA's 70th anniversary today. Full story is there. Comes with a picture of the GJA president, Afel Money. And this story about police securing DNA samples. It says, crack police forensic experts yesterday took DNA samples from families of the 4 missing girls in Takrady in the Western region. The experts drawn from the forensic laboratory are expected to bring samples to Accra for analysis to ascertain whether the remains found recently in Takrady matched that of the missing girls. It follows an agreement between the police and the families of the girls and their names: 18-year-old Priscilla Mantebia Cranchip, Priscilla Blessing Bentum, 21, also 18 is Ruth Love-Kwesing, and 19-year-old Ruth Abaka, who we recently discovered also went missing sometime last year. Well, the Director General of the Police Affairs, ACP David Senanoklu, disclosed these to the Ghanaian Times in Accra yesterday, but did not give the type of samples the expert took from the families of the victims for the analysis. You can read on in the center spread. Back page though, chalk factory for a Kumfi underway, and it says the National Youth Employment Agency has initiated a project to establish a chalk production factory at the Kumfi Akrofo in the Kumfi districts of the Central Region. It forms part of the agency's program to support persons with disabilities to enter into viable business ventures in the country. Isn't chalk fading? Aren't we moving on to other?
I think in the wider circulated public schools, no.
Yes, but eventually it would, right? I mean,
yeah, I think that instead of investing in that, maybe it's for the short term, but for the medium to long term, it's not a very, I won't say, yeah.
Because
but for the wider...
We're moving to the maca and the board, isn't it?
Yeah, we're moving there as a world. But I don't think as a country we're moving fast enough. It will take us a couple of years.
So private schools are certainly this, public schools we're talking about. But I thought that the public schools would have a way of gradually migrating, if you like.
Yeah. I mean, the buildings create problems.
Oh, you may not have the building, but if you've got the board, you're good to go.
And who supply the markets? The markets are more expensive.
Even Chokra, we don't have Namaka.
Yeah.
Okay.
But ideally, I think
I'm just talking about the viability of this project in terms of the long-term benefits.
Yeah, and even this one is not the first time. We've had the Ghana Federation of the Disabled start something like that in Accra. It was not massively supported by the governments of Ghana over the years. So I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud.
There's also another story on the back page of the paper. New policy for automobile industry launched. And that's what is on the front and back page, the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Shall I continue with the Daily Statesman, Roland? Or you want to do other papers?
Okay, let me do a couple so that it doesn't look to viewers as if you are the only one in the studio.
You had to add that.
Oh.
Did you lose your game, by the way? Of course you did.
Daily Guide. Daily Guide.
Super Cup.
Daily Guide. So we have Daily Guide. Front page of Daily Guide.
And those who said Liverpool was better than Manchester
Daily Guide.
United.
Where's Kojo? Kojo, come and take this. Daily Guide. DNA test on Taadi girls. And this one, keep hearing it. The forensic experts at work. It took them 2 weeks for them to get the samples.
What?
So that's how profound and swift our forensic team.
Okay, wait,
hang
on. Did they give you timelines?
Well, they didn't.
So you are just...
Well, we're talking about, it's benchmark. We're benchmarking our service with some of the best in the world. So if the best in the world do it swiftly and we do it in the second or third week, then we have a problem.
Okay, well, but even that, we've gone
because
to...
Because 2 weeks ago, we interviewed this forensic and DNA expert from the University of Cape Coast, Richard Kojinyako. That was the week before last.
Yes, I remember that conversation.
So if we did that, and they said, and at the time, they kept saying in 3 days, the team from Accra will be dispatched.
So they were finally dispatched, and they got the samples yesterday, Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yes. So they're working with their own timelines. You have yours.
No wonder we have chalk manufacturing now as a whole project. Schools are moving. You say your school that your children go to.
Oh, I beg, it's not just my children's school, your children's school as well.
Other front page stories on the front page.
Even private schools who do GES. Do you get what I mean? So they're private, but they're privately run, but they do the Ghana Education Service. Exactly. I mean, almost all the schools that I know are doing backers and
yeah, even some public school depends on where they find themselves.
Yeah,
for example,
I'm
thinking the Sakumano Community Schools.
A lot of the children that we have
there,
today.
So I don't know. But
listen,
if
we can do something. We can show them chalk. Let's see if they know what chalk is. There are a lot of children today who would not know what chalk is.
Hey, well,
it's true.
Like in a section of Ghana.
Yes.
You mean they may
primary school?
They may not have experienced it being used for teaching,
and they won't know what it is. It's true. Listen, give me a camera call. Give me a camera tomorrow morning, God willing, because they are still doing the summer school and things, right?
Yeah.
I want the basic. I'll show them chalk. Let's see if they know what it is.
Things have advanced in Ghana. There are children in Ghana who are doing GES curriculum and they go to summer school. After we've had a long but they go to summer school. Please listen, and those children are supposed to compete. The ones in the rural areas are supposed to compete with such.
Okay, wait. Summer school doesn't really. Summer school. I mean, I disagree with the name, by the way, because it's always summer in Ghana.
Okay. In Ghana, when I was doing social studies back in my primary and GSS in Ashama, well, forget about services primary. Where I said they told us that we have rainy season, dry season,
Hamatan,
when the monsoons come. So summer in Ghana. Okay, let me.
But
continue.
I was just going to say that the summer, so-called summer classes, they don't do like hardcore studies. A lot of the things they do will be the arts. Practical, they do coding.
Practical.
Yeah, things like they do coding. Please do your headlines.
Okay. So coding Mahama backtracks on free SHS. That's also on the front page.
Is that the headline?
No. The coding came. I think it's the
read
way
what you see.
Okay, so the Daily Guide on the front page. Mahama backtracks on free SHS, says headline according to the Daily Guide. We will stop PFJ fertilizer smugglers. Mama, I think we need to look at the disparity. A typical model school, then we look at the disparity. Not even like top.
But we have some GS model schools. There's a model school that IBIS help fund, and IBIS is a Danish NGO.
Because you have worked with IBIS.
I don't know if it still exists, but it was, like just a public school, but just, modeled so that underprivileged areas could also have education, good education.
Sort of setup.
Exactly. They had a very beautiful module. I'll check if it still exists. This was Kalba Tuna. Hey, I've mixed the names though.
Tuna Kalba.
Yeah, that area.
Something.
Yeah.
Tuna Kalba. So Tuna Kalba.
Exactly. Yeah.
I will bounce back. Number one. On the back page, Rabat ready to roar. We're talking about this one will be the international games and competition. No, okay, so this one stadium. Okay, Equatorial Guinea. Okay, so we have $3,000 for AG gold medalist. That's on the back page of the Daily Guide, and then other stories. So let's go to the custodian. The custodian has Akufo-Addo to fire non-performing MMDCs. I agree. That's a good one. The president, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo.
I beg to fire.
Yeah. GRA rolls out measures to widen tax net. Hey, this I've been hearing it since President Rawlings' time. Widen tax net. The same people keep paying the tax too, but every year widen tax net. Boku Naba praises Akufo-Addo for dams, road projects, free SHS. And they didn't add that he wanted the name. He had also got into the renaming mode. He said he wanted the name of the Boku Senior High Technical School also changed because it was causing confusion with another school. Government secures £128 million to complete Bolga Boku Road. Yeah, that's a good one. Congratulations to the president, Nana Danko Akufo-Addo. Confusion rocks Qatar NDC primaries. They have attached, as the newspaper has attached, the General Secretary of the party, Johnson, is here doing Ketia. Let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper quickly. Has on the front page, Ghanaians must congratulate Amewu for exposing alleged deal in PDS deal. Mode.
We must congratulate him.
Yeah, and Alex Mode is a former chief executive for the GMPC.
So we must congratulate the sector minister.
Yeah. You're thinking this is just his normal work? Oh, he's gone outside his remit to identify something.
I think what is most important is the defects in the kind of processes that it supposedly went through, and what we are hearing now in terms of what has happened, the inconsistencies, reason we've dispatched whatever investigators to go and find out whatever and come back. You get what I mean?
To the Gulf.
MIDA, you know, they were set up to carry out a piece of work. And if we're here today and if what we're hearing is true, then I think instead of congratulating somebody for exposing it, we should be prosecuting those who have led us to this path, if the allegations are true.
Now, we know that the fallout of the PS deal will be topical as we do the discussions. Amavi Osobaji will be hosting Andre Japamesa this morning, Member of Parliament for Sekondi and Member of Parliament for Tamale North, Al-Hassan Suhini. As we continue on the front page of the Daily Dispatch newspaper, Akufo-Addo in campaign mood. NDC will lose in 2020. On the side, minority petitions U.S. government to investigate PDS scandal. PDS everywhere. And, okay, so that'll be it, my brother. My newspaper.
Oh, you know, I was just thinking about.
You haven't finished all.
I was just thinking about the model school again, the IBIS, and it just occurred to me that IBIS as it is doesn't exist today because they are part of Oxfam. But I'll check for the model school.
I remember back in those years I did some consulting for IBIS for some time.
All right, let's do the Daily Statesman. Did I do the Daily Statesman? No. Okay,
you are left with the Daily Statesman
and the Business Finder.
Exactly.
All right, oil jetty in Takrady goes live in October. Death scare hits NDC. 6 gone in Ashaman. Roland, this is your backyard. Is it true? This is on page 2. It says NDC members in the Ashaman constituency have been living in fear for the past few weeks due to high-profile deaths recorded by the party in the area. According to media reports, they say it becomes worrying, according to some NDC supporters, when the tragedy keeps recurring in one political party, unlike in the others. All right, back on the front page. New digital dynamism. Free Wi-Fi for universities and senior high schools to pilot this year. Oh, okay. You can read on the full story, but let's quickly do the Business Finder and then we'll go to myjoyonline.com. Okay, no, Charlie, I can't let this one go. This is on page 2. Let me get a better understanding. It says universities and senior high schools across the country are to benefit from free Wi-Fi connectivity in the next 2 years in order to assist teaching and learning by staff and students, according to the Vice President. By the end of this year, 1 university and 3 senior high schools will be used to pilot the projects. The Vice President said with the government digitizing sectors of the economy, which will become major drivers of growth, it is imperative that young Ghanaians be allowed to explore their potential for the benefit of the country. Senior high schools don't use mobile phones, right? So we're talking about maybe the computer labs with internet connectivity. Okay. I'm just trying to focus my mind. Like, I'm trying to absorb that. But it's in the Daily Statesman newspaper.
You try to synchronize with the real situations and the dreams that we tend to...
Yes, man. I'm just wondering what it is that we're saying here. And it just occurred to me, yeah. All right, let's do the Business Finder. ADB seeks 127 million Ghana cedis through private placement to meet capital requirements. There's a market summary, consumer price inflation, interest rates. BOG rates is 16%. The 91-day treasury bill is 14.76. Roland, has it gone down again? I think at some point it was like 16, Anna. 182 is 15.33%. 1 year note is 18.01%. I look at the treasury bills because, Charlie, for those of us who are not high risk takers,
that's a safe one. I think right now on the financial, there's not really a risky one, maybe. Yeah. Because everybody has been measured so far. Yeah.
There is not like a men's gold. All right, let's do myjoyonline.com if we can before we run off. Later this morning, we have AM Talk. In fact, right after sports, we've got AM Talk. We're going to be heavily discussing the PDS matter because there's a new twist where the minority is petitioning or has petitioned the U.S. Embassy, the U.S. to step in into this matter. So yeah, but let's do my John line.
But you know, we've had a reaction from the information minister who says this is just hunky-punky, in my own words. Just one of the drama.
Yeah.
That's in so.
But there are some strong reasons that the minority give in terms of our own investigations. How many of these investigations do we have, first of all, been published that we can make reference to and say that, oh, when this matter came up, this is what we found, these were the recommendations, this is how much of it that we implemented, things like that. And so they say, based on the history that we have with our own investigations, leading investigations, and with all the accusations and how our CID has handled issues in this country, they don't trust that our system will be able to do that. So even though we're sovereign, they've gone elsewhere.
Do we have any information that seems to indicate that the U.S. government or even the embassy here is worried about the ongoings, knowing that we are supposed to have had all these covered by the Millennium Challenge accounts? Yes.
We'll find out. So Yuni is here this morning on the side of the minority. So the other things that we may not know, we can put the questions to him. But let's do myjoyonline.com. We're ready to go on our page this morning. All right. Missing Taadi girls. My resignation will not solve issue. That's the CID boss, Mamitiwa there. And I saw the video yesterday. You can check out the details on my John Line. Also, UCC School of Agric develops technology to defect fake rice. And here we go. Roland will love this. Liverpool beat Chelsea
I don't
penalties.
I don't like
so when UEFA Super Cup is their first European win or cup.
Mama, I had a dream about this.
You did, eh?
Something
that you didn't tell us yesterday.
Yeah,
yesterday you said you guys would shock
usually
everybody.
my dreams.
I was disappointed, by the way. I'm not sure.
With Liverpool,
was the game okay? Oh yeah, I was so disappointed with Liverpool, but Liverpool. I mean, yeah, Liverpool. Charlie, supporting Liverpool for me personally is almost as supporting Arsenal sometimes.
Hey, they were second in the league and UEFA champions.
I know, but when you really want them to win convincingly, they don't do it. They disappoint. Exactly, that's what I mean.
Are you done?
No. There are fallouts of the game yesterday, and I'm sure that Benedict will talk about that. Was the game slowed because of the female referee that we had? There was some feedback on social media as the game was ongoing, but Benedict has all the rundown. Let's go back to myjoyonline.com. Minority petitions U.S. ambassador over PDS debacle. Government launches automobile bill, declares tax holidays for car assembly plants. Men's Gold boss breaks silence on Monday. He's indicated that he's going to talk on Monday. We wait for that. Joy FM Sami Forcing nominated for 2019 Afrima, the only Ghanaian in that category. APAC wants OSP to prosecute NPP members, FC officials over Rosewood. All right. The other story, soldiers deployed to secure borders, fight terrorism threats in the upper. Is it Upper East or Upper West? Because there's you.
Upper East.
All right. More stories on myjoyonline.com. Roland, when you do dedications on the show, you will pay. Yes.
Okay, this one is from a very good friend of mine. Fifi, you work with the National Health Insurance Authority, and you're saying this, nicely worded. Happy people aren't those who have everything in the world. I love this. But those who appreciate what they have. May you become one of the happiest souls to have ever lived on earth. Happy birthday, my sweetest sister on earth, Rebecca Intri, popularly known as Becky, and it's from Fifi of the National Health Insurance Authority. I hope that you enjoy your birthday, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. 1 a.m. show, one dedication. Stay with us. We've got sports coming your way.
Can this one kill me?
Benedict is here with all the fallout from yesterday's Super Cup. Yeah.
Where do you get these things from?
Stay with us.